hot, isn't it?
Hello.
Good evening, good morning,
It
good
is hot.
afternoon, America.
It's probably not hot on the East Coast, East Coast, New York, Washington. I think it was snowing earlier today.
Was it?
I think so.
Look at him.
What?
Keep you pretending like you know everything.
Well,
about all
I've
the
seen
different
footage
areas.
from Washington and it's snow.
We're feeling the love and we're feeling the fear.
Yeah.
We love America, and yet at this very moment in time, we're afraid. So I just want to say, before I say anything else, how the hell are you all?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
How are you all feeling?
How are you feeling?
Make America great again.
Oh God, please.
Sorry. Hi, Brit in New York City here. It did snow last night. Why?
I'm going to have to tell you something about him. Brit. Welcome. Just leave the door open. That's our dogs. Just leave it open. Welcome, Brit. Was it Brit that gave you that little message? Be careful of ever
she is a Brit in New York.
Oh, a Brit in New York. Be careful of ever complimenting this one.
Lucy King. Hi, Brit in New York City here. Did snow last night.
Ah, you see, he knew.
Lester Great, frightened, astonished, but not.
I'm bloody gobsmacked the whole time. I mean, he's
Rachel Thomas, discombobulated.
We get to the point where we have no more words, and we are, American files. We love America. We love so much about America. We love to visit
Jordan.
Hey!
Pouring rain in LA. Oh my
That's
God.
our friend in LA. Oh, I was about to say hello to Jordan, in case you were watching later, Jordan.
Storms are incoming. I suppose that's kind of a sort of slight kind of relief, I guess, off the back of all the horrors that have happened in LA, Jordan. So nice to have you there.
Yeah, lovely to have you
sending
here.
Sending you love.
We are being very typically British here by talking about the weather. Whilst the world is...
God, Americans with the weather are something else. In New York, it takes
So let's talk about the weather.
A raindrop, and any New Yorkers here, and New Yorkers, they flee like it's the floods.
Oh, do they?
To a drop of snow, and every cab pulls over and can't take you any.
Well, here we always start every conversation with the weather. Would you like a cup of tea? What did you think? How was your journey? Journey.
Ruby Signorelli, Brit in California. UK should look to USA and do the opposite. Yeah, we wanted to do the same.
What's so bloody scary, though, is Nigel Farage is very tightly tucked under Trump and Musk's arms.
Yeah,
so
like in American football.
It is worrying. It is worrying. But we've got lots we're going to talk to you about today.
Yeah, but I thought maybe we should open the account with a light-hearted thing. We've got, what we've got in the title, we've got the Gaza Riviera, which is a term to coat and cover and varnish over the most heinous crime against humanity, which is the genocide in Gaza. We've got condoms. Yeah, I kid you not, we're talking about condoms. We're talking about world peace, because tonight Trump has come off the blower to Putin and Zelensky, and he could be after the Nobel Peace Prize.
He's running a bit late on that, though, because he did say 24 hours, didn't he, in the election?
No.
He said, give me a day and I'll have sorted out Ukraine. He did. We're into 21 days now.
We're just over 3 weeks now. No, but I think what he's going to say is, give me a day from the moment I pick up the phone. He's got to get out of jail clause there. Anyway.
We're also going to be talking about
Musk.
Prince Harry.
Yes.
And Meghan. And we've got a theory on how our dear King Charles may have convinced Trump, to be a little easier on little Will. Not Will, Edward. No, what's his name? Harry.
In a minute, you're going to say Elizabeth.
I've got all my royals mixed up.
Jesus, you've gone back about 6 generations. You're in the Tudors, Nat.
We've gone to way, way, way back too far. And we're going to be talking about paper straws, and sharks like them.
Well, hang on. That's going to be the clip that we lead with. Let's start
We've
live.
also got a fabulous, my favorite ever, impersonation of Trump and Keir Starmer, done by a very clever actor. He does the two people, and it is fantastic. I'm not bigging it up, am I?
No. It's incredibly entertaining.
Jordan, you're going to love it.
Yeah. So let's just start our kind of account. I did day one. Did week one, and in the run-up to the election, the presidential election, me and Nadia did a lot of American Lives talking about. Nadia's got really engaged in this recent presidential campaign. You're fascinated by American politics.
Yeah,
it is fascinating.
I still know very little. I still know a drop in the ocean, but I am so fascinated.
I think you'll be surprised by how much you do know, and I think what's just flabbergasting is how if nothing else, Trump is unpicking the seams of American.
Just
the
as
American
I start to really
Constitution.
learn about the
Yes.
Constitution.
Take it all, hurl it down the bin.
Well, it's so interesting as you see it being unpicked.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
unpicked quite literally. But let's start with this, because I think one of the things I do want to say about Trump, these lives, we're going to be doing quite a few. Obviously, it's going to be 4 years. But as Reese quite chillingly just suggested in the comments, it could be 4 years. But if he changes the Constitution, it could be 8 years. Now, of course, we don't know he's going to do that, but squeaky bum time.
2025, Project 2025. They weren't going to do any of it.
No.
And so far, there's quite a few things checked off the list.
I have a couple of things. He's moving fast.
Nobody's doing Project 2025.
No, but to all Trumpites, and we want Trump fans to come in. If you come into the room,
please
come
talk
into the
to
chat,
us. We love it.
Just talk nicely. Don't say you need to learn, or don't get preachy.
We want to learn,
but we want to hear what he's doing.
That's
for
good.
those of you that support him. But one thing you can't accuse him of is not moving like an absolute. For those I don't know if you are listening, but she's choking.
Oh my God, I've just got
Did you just
cocoa
choke?
down my top. Carry on, Mark. Make it seamless. Make it seamless.
I'm trying to completely lost my thread. No, he's getting on with it.
But getting on with what?
Deconstructing.
And don't forget,
these
are executive orders. It's got to go all sorts of through other
no,
layers.
but this
places.
is the problem. Theoretically, federal judges and federal courts can block him. But from what JD Vance and
They're
Trump
saying
is
ignore
saying,
it.
Ignore them all.
But is that not
illegal?
But
babe, legality and illegality.
Okay.
What's the meaning of that?
But is it not
Wrong.
Yes, like morally.
right and wrong. Who cares about that?
Oh, yabba dabba da.
Right and wrong. Yeah, just take it up, jumble it in a salad, and eat it like a coleslaw.
But I mean, I was listening the other day. There was a couple of things that Biden was told he couldn't do by the judges, and he did it anyway.
I know.
Yeah,
that was one of them.
Yeah,
one of them was quite similar to Trump, wasn't
yes,
it?
I can't remember what it was.
I think wasn't anything...
Well, you're not allowed to do genocide.
No, that's
whoever you
one of
are,
them.
and he started it.
And
so.
also, apparently, both our government and the
War
American
crimes
government have been lying to themselves, each other, and everyone else about the knowledge and intelligence they have about the genocide that's happening.
Exactly.
God, people lying. That's quite bizarre.
And actually, you know, what we're seeing with people being sort of hauled off and
who has been hauled off?
Migrants that have been hauled off.
I see, right.
That was, you know, the way we've just been so horrified at seeing them handcuffed and taken. That's always been the way. It's just it hasn't been filmed, apparently.
Well, and also, to be brutally honest with you, Biden, those sort of
Obama put through more people out than Biden.
Precisely,
correct us on anything.
The processes of getting rid of people, that's always happened with ICE. But you know, the immigration.
They're very angry ICE, aren't they? I've seen a few videos.
Don't you feel they should have
I think they need
Ice's
to cool
song?
down.
Don't you think they should have ice,
baby? I just think they need to cool down a bit. They all seem a bit.
Yeah.
No one to stop, darling. No one to stop.
What do you mean? You just pour coffee down your front.
You were singing for a bit too long.
All right.
I think they need to cool down.
Babe, a cup of hot chocolate isn't very British. Babe, you're taking enormous gulps. It's no wonder.
It's cocoa.
Okay, we're going to show you a clip. And
yes,
the other thing I wanted to say before we show you the clip was not only is he getting on with it and doing a lot of stuff, whether we like it or not, he has unfortunately got the ability to make me laugh.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's how the devil comes.
That's how into your sleep,
so to speak.
This candy-coloured man they call the Sandman.
Tiptoes in your room. He's a giant. What's it?
Wrong song. He is a giant. What's it? Here we go.
Jeff, what's it?
Order relating to the use of paper straws. As you've consistently identified, nobody really likes paper straws.
Number one trending. Can you believe it? A paper straw was number one trending for 3 days or something.
The environmental impact of plastic straws versus paper straws is entirely unclear. This has cost both the government and private industry an absolute ton of money and left consumers all over the country wildly dissatisfied with their straws. So we're asking aspects of the federal government, federal departments and agencies to look at their existing procurement processes, and we're asking your Domestic Policy Council to look holistically at this issue to address it, and it really is something that affects ordinary Americans in their everyday lives.
We're going back to plastic straws. These things don't work. I've had them many times, and on occasion they break, they explode. If something's hot, they don't last very long, like a matter of minutes, sometimes a matter of seconds. It's a ridiculous situation. So we're going back to plastic straws. I think it's okay.
Listen to this. Love the sound of those pens.
And I don't think that plastic's going to affect a shark very much as they're munching their way through the ocean.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Okay, let me just pause us for a second.
Oh.
If we were to reframe everything he was saying there in, say, a Peter Kay style stand-up, I'd find that quite funny.
Well, no, I mean, the thing is, it's funny and it's tragic, isn't it? Because we know he cares nothing. He cares nothing for the planet, nothing,
Sharks?
because he's not going to be here for the point when we have complete destruction.
know.
Well,
I
we
think
might be
maybe
if
he
he's
believes
speeding
he-
it up.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, can I just say one thing?
Yes.
I get that whenever I go near a paper straw. I have something wrong with me.
Let me just...
No, don't get one, Mark.
No, I'm not going to.
Mark.
No.
You are. You're going to get a bloody plastic paper straw. He's going to, because it makes my... Ah!
It's a long one.
No, Mark. Put it away. God's sake.
I have to say, though, I'm 100% with him.
Shut up. You are not 100% with saying plastic straws. Have you seen what it does to the ocean? Don't be ridiculous.
Sharks aren't
Every time you eat a
interested.
piece of salmon, do you know how much plastic is in that salmon?
I don't know. I'm with him on the straws.
Anyone who eats fish at the moment,
Every time I
with the
offer you a
ocean...
drink with a cardboard straw, you punch me in my jaw.
Yeah, that's why I just have to drink it with the glass and get the ice to
Surely.
tap on my teeth. But you know what? Mother Earth is more important.
Okay, well, they do go soggy in
I've
seconds.
got love for Mother Earth, fear for
We
Trump.
get stainless steel straws would be a good idea, but he's
I've got
whacked
one.
25% tariffs for
on
Americans.
stainless steel.
For Americans.
I've got glass ones. They're very useful.
Babe, you've got
I've got
stainless
glass
steel
straws.
ones with a bend. Anyway, that's not what we've come here to
Boring.
talk about,
Move
is
on.
it? Okay, moving on. What should we talk about? Let's talk about Musk, Elon Musk. I kind of lost myself down a wormhole this morning of footage of Musk in the Oval Office, essentially taking sort of questions since Trump's been in power and since he's been operating Doge.
Can I just ask something? How are people saying the word Doge without laughing their head? Doge is a very unsavory word.
Yes.
Doge.
The Doge team.
Maybe in American.
Department of Government Efficiency.
But maybe it doesn't sound as bad in American, but Doge sounds like div.
That's not too bad.
Well, div is a bad word.
Yeah, would you like to be called a div?
No, a div means you're thick.
But a Doge.
Do you know what div means?
I think a Doge sounds a little bit
div
dirty.
is like dim, like
Miriam
stupid.
W says sounds like douche.
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 And we know what we do with the douche. What do we do with the douche? We clean our vaginas. Well, some people do. I don't.
It's locker room talk, Nats. That only Trump does that. Pussy talk. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Mind you, you never know. You could become the leader of the free world with such words.
Could I?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I just want to show us some clips of Elon Musk in the Oval Office.
These are joyful.
These are joyful.
There is so much to unpack. It is
much.
totally extraordinary. First of all, have we ever seen a child in the Oval Office?
I'm going to
before?
tease you into that. Let's listen to this. I can't remember the order of the quotes, but let's listen to this one.
Have a feedback loop. Okay, we would have to, if you sorry, at a high level, if you say what is the goal
Watch Trump looking at the irritating toddler.
of Doge and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy. This may seem like, well, are we in a democracy? Well, if you don't have a feedback loop, okay, we would have to, if you sorry. Tell you, gravitas can be difficult sometimes.
Oh, it's not.
So if there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, and if you have rule of the bureaucrat, or if the bureaucracy is...
Let's just pause for a second, because I'm really losing track of everything he's saying. We have basically the First Lady standing next to a president that his son, X, named...
Where's the First Lady?
First Lady? Is that what they
He's
call
not the First Lady. He's Doge.
Babe, it was a sarcastic.
Oh, sorry.
Who's the First Lady?
Oh, Melania.
Yeah, what am I saying?
Where is the First Lady? She's in New
I'm
York.
saying he's so close to Trump, he may as well be
the First Lady.
Anyway, so this is Take Your Kid to Work Day.
No, it's always take your kid to work. That
For
child is always on his shoulders.
Well, hang on a minute. So he carries on talking, but that got a little bit boring. But check this one out.
On X, that an example of the fraud that you have cited was $50 million of condoms was sent to Gaza. But after fact check this, apparently Gaza in Mozambique, and the program was to protect them against HIV. So can you correct the statements? It wasn't sent to Hamas actually. It was sent to Mozambique, which makes sense why condoms was sent there.
Yeah.
And how can we make sure that all the statements that you said were correct, so we can trust what you say?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes, but we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes. I'm not sure we should be sending $50 million worth of condoms to anywhere.
So this is the story that broke last week, and I don't know if you noticed, but very, very few news publications or websites
have done a correction
to say that those condoms that Donald Trump said not only had been sent to Hamas, but also said Hamas had made bombs out of them.
I mean, love of what? By putting water in them and throwing them out the window. Oh, that'll really work against your multi-billion-pound bombs that you've been sending.
Is anyone else absolutely captivated by the fact that the second most powerful, if not arguably the most powerful man in the world is standing there with a child crawling all over his head?
Well, I was reading an article from one of these, these people that read the signs. What's it called? And
lip reading.
No.
Body signs.
The body language.
Yes.
And so him being taller, standing taller than Trump, and position of power, but then usually in the place of the king sits, and the waiters, and she was going through all of this.
The court of the king.
But Trump tried to assert his power when he said, I'm going to hand over to Musk for a few words, and then Musk talked for half an hour. He took up the entire press conference.
Well, and I want to ask you, it's too interminably boring to listen to him, and maybe that's part of the plan so we don't interrogate too much. I've never seen Donald Trump.
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way.
I've never seen Trump.
What's your response to that, Chris?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a
Very
stronger
odd,
mandate.
isn't it? What do you think, guys?
Everything about this shot. Let's just pause and analyze this shot just for a minute. There's a boy in a camel jacket on the floor. Someone just said my idea of toddler hell. Hell on
Such a good little boy. Poor little thing. How boring.
Trump.
He shouldn't be in there, should he?
No, Trump can't stand him. He's going to be. But what has Musk got on Trump that Trump is so compliant and quiet?
Well, Anthony Scaramucci, who worked with Trump for a couple of years before he was sacked.
I had a photo of Scaramucci.
And and he all the way through the election and everything was saying that Musk won't last long. You can't take a starring role in Trump's life. I have to say, I've never agreed with him on. But recently, in their last podcast, Rest is Politics US, him and Kathy Kay were talking about this, and Scaramucci said, I don't think that's the case now. And she was like, how can you have changed that much? And he said, I'm hearing from people very close to Trump that Trump is very scared of Elon.
I wonder why that is, though. Because there was the suggestion that Putin
don't forget,
footage and photographs.
He practically controls all of social media.
Yeah, but Putin allegedly has the photos of Donald Trump being.
He's a germphobe. It's not possible. He's a germphobe. Do you remember
he described the arc of the
He said it's the only thing that Melania hasn't had to go at him for, because the only thing she knows couldn't be true because of his germaphobe. No, but can we cut to the bit with the little boy?
But before that, MeTube says his prize is on the 1 trillion deficit cut. Can I just say, though, the amount of deficit and debit and debt and everything that even America's under, just to remove 1 trillion now, that's going to land again very quickly. I mean, it's literally like trying to dry yourself in a running shower. But listen to this. Someone's and I thought this was AI'd and interfered with this footage. But looking at that last clip, maybe not. Check this out.
Listen to this.
Listen to what the boy says.
Or democracy. This may seem like, well, aren't we in a democracy? To restore democracy. This may seem like, well, aren't we in a democracy?
You need to go away. You're not the president. You need to go
I just
away.
had a realization.
But it could be AI. We don't know.
No, I think his son is AI.
Oh, shut
No,
up.
listen to me.
Oh, Mark, don't be silly.
Hang on.
You're just being silly
I'm
now.
not. Musk has the technology to put chips into heads.
Mark.
His son, which has the name which looks like a
X.
password.
X.
No, it's not just X.
It
It's
is.
X. It's
My
not.
name's X. He
Look,
says it all
yeah,
the
I know.
time.
That's an abbreviation.
Oh.
That's a nickname.
Is
for
his
X.
name Xylophone then?
Yeah, it's a whole range of different things. The one in control of that room is that child. It's scary as hell. Anyway, shall we have some light relief as if we haven't already had light relief? Do you want to watch? Shall we watch your impersonator?
I love this so much, guys. I love this. Tell me how much you love it.
And then we're going to get onto some serious shit like world peace. So check this out. This is a guy's impersonating. For those of you who don't know, in America, this is Keir Starmer being impersonated.
Our Prime Minister.
And Donald Trump.
The main thing to remember is that you could use the fridge, but you can't take what you want from the fridge.
That is absolutely fake news. You can help yourself to whatever you want. You can have whatever you want from the fridge.
Look, Donald, there are other people living in this apartment as well.
Let me tell you something. Keir is getting communal mixed up with communist. He thinks the fridge is a communist fridge when in fact it is a communal fridge. That's what they call it.
I'm sorry, Donald, but that is absolutely absurd language. Absolutely absurd.
And you know what, Keir? You're going to do nothing about it. You're going to do absolutely nothing about it because you can't put me in prison for saying things you don't like.
Basically, you have to put your own food
Wrong.
on your own shelf and eat your own
Wrong.
food. You can't
That's so
just
wrong.
dig into other people's
Starmer, you
stuff.
are such a dweeb, and you really are. Anytime you put food in the fridge, I eat it all up, and I eat it.
No, you
so
cannot
good.
do
I
that.
ate your Nando's. You had
That's
a
the
Nando's
point I'm
takeout,
trying
and I
to
ate
make.
it to myself, and I loved it, and I felt very cheeky eating it.
I
It was a
can't.
very cheeky Nando's.
You really are the most devious bastard in New York City.
You know, I don't even know who that person is.
Don't worry about him. He speaks the bullshit.
I
Very
just
funny.
think that guy is genius.
I mean, at
I must
first-
just credit him.
Yeah.
actually. I'm
At
just gonna find
first,
his
we
name.
thought, God, doesn't he look like them? But obviously, he's used a bit of AI for the eyes and the face.
But I just think that
Stunning.
is, if you don't know Keir Starmer,
That's him.
check out Keir Starmer. It is
Change.
exactly him. What's his name?
Change.
If you want to follow him, you must
Schiffer
give him his-
Bates.
Schiffer Bates. SCHEFFIER Bates.
Schiffer
on
Bates.
Instagram.
Very funny. Very funny. Okay. Moving into, we've done condoms, we've done paper straws, we've done
Can you
toddlers,
believe it?
we've done impersonations. We're going to now talk a bit about the Gaza. I mean, because we've talked about, he's done so many things, so many executive orders have been signed, etc. He's still got members of his cabinet and his team being sworn in. I think RFK Jr. is due to be sworn in today by the Senate or ratified. We've just had the head of intelligence, who used to be a Democrat, who's now the head of intelligence. But also today we've had a lot of news off the back of
The ex-Fox News presenter.
what's his name? I forget his name.
Stephen
Hestehoff. Well, here he is here. But look, big news earlier today was Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth.
Yes.
Who has what I understand is called a Jerusalem cross on his chest. It's a very angry-looking cross that he has tattooed on his chest. Anyway,
I don't think one can even show it. Can
no,
you, that
I don't
cross?
know about that.
I don't think you're even allowed to.
So this is major news. This landed earlier today, and Pete Hegseth, and that's our defence minister, John Healey. The US this is really big news. The US will no longer guarantee the security of Europe.
Pause there.
Let's just pause.
Pause there, because they have their own worries with China.
I think they're
This is so
amplifying
classic.
their worries with
This
China.
is so classically male. Just one thing at a time.
Yes,
One thing at
yes.
a time. Can we
Women
not have a
are
couple of thoughts?
multitasking.
Can we not have a couple of thoughts?
So this is quite serious. This is the idea that America needs to deal with its own shit. It's got a problem with China. It needs to focus on China. And basically what this is Trump and America are cutting us all adrift.
To Putin.
Now, the worry about
Putin's pause.
to Putin's pause. Oh, I see. Yeah, his hands. At the same time, they're saying, Donald Trump said this thing, which he quite rightly said earlier. He said, in 24 hours, we're going to get peace. I'll be able to deliver peace in the world.
All I want is
in
peace.
Ukraine. It's going to be the deal of a lifetime. Well, by all accounts, he believes he's got that deal. But what's interesting about these deals that he's striking is that with the deal in Gaza, he hasn't spoken about the deal with the Palestinians or any of the Arab nations around there. With the deal over Ukraine, he hasn't spoken to Ukraine, though, as I understand it, he has subsequently this evening had a phone conversation with Zelensky. Now, of course, anyone can claim to be talking about peace if what you say is you have everything you've got and you don't have what you have.
Was there really a single person that believed the ceasefire when it was just because you say something doesn't make it true?
Well, not only just because you say something, but what he's basically said about Gaza is Israel, you have it, and he knows that Israel can take it.
And Russia, you have whatever you want, including Europe.
That's hardly Nobel Peace Prize work, is it? Isn't that just?
I think he might have given up on that one now. I think he must know he can't. Well, maybe
no,
not.
no. He said
maybe
it in
not.
front. He said it in front of Netanyahu. Listen to this. A bunch of Israeli academics are proposing him.
Yeah.
So basically, Europe's on our own when it comes to Russia. And as we discovered today, Gen Z are not interested in fighting a war. Neither are we. I mean, what would you do if Russia was invaded? Would you be able to pick up arms and arm bears?
Of course I would. I probably would do.
If you knew.
I don't want to say what I'd do. It's too awful.
If you knew that it wouldn't materially change your life too much, would you care?
It would materially change my life.
Yeah, in what way?
No, let's not do this.
All right, okay.
It's bedtime soon.
All right, it's bedtime soon. Okay, well, let's move on to, so basically, he's claimed peace. He's claiming that he's achieved peace. He sees himself as a peace broker. But really, it's all just been said at the moment. Nothing's been secured. He's promised to visit Putin. He's promised Putin to visit America. And this is significant because Putin hasn't been invited to America and no one's visited Putin ever since he invaded the Crimea.
Catherine Clark says, Nobel for Bastard of the Year. Of the century.
Erin's very confident about this. Europe is perfectly capable of defending itself. People get too worked up about losing American military support. We don't necessarily need their forces. NATO is huge, but US certainly need our weapons. What would be interesting to see.
Really?
I'd be interested to know whether them not being as part of, behind NATO as much means they'll remove all of their kind of...
Maybe Erin's right. Maybe we will get whipped up about this nonsense. Actually, we could say, do you know what? Good riddance. Yeah. You're on your own too, Mr. Flippity-Jip.
Yeah. Karen Ula, Mark, by listening to your political opinions, I feel less panicked. Thank you, both of you, for giving me a space to feel heard, Karen.
Oh, sweetie.
But that's very sweet. I don't know how to say this, but I'm panicking my answer. Most days I'm shitting bricks. Please, you're calm.
He's joking, Karen.
No, I'm joking.
Karen is only joking.
I'm only joking. I'm just trying to see what other... Okay, so let's move off world peace. He's also...
Yeah, come on. Let's just move away from... Yeah. That seems like a sensible idea to me, because I think what's the point of chasing rainbows?
Yeah, well, exactly. What's this, Nadia?
Oh, are we doing the Gulf of America
That's
now?
a map of the Gulf of America.
Is it on there? Because I can't see. I haven't got my
reading. Yes, it says Gulf of America.
Oh, it says Gulf of America.
But he's announced that February the 9th is to be Gulf of America Day.
Wow. Woo!
Yeah. Now, there was a story around this that by all accounts, associated... Oh, hang on.
Oh,
God. If you want this week to get any stranger...
Is that a real cat?
It's a real cat.
Has somebody put that on him?
He might have put it on himself.
That's what I mean. I think he's put it on himself. Nothing would surprise you. It's probably his child's under there. Oh, it's that one. I think his child's under there. or maybe his pet cat.
Anyway, no, this is the story that was it Associated Press? I think it was the Associated Press.
It was the Associated Press at the beginning of that press conference.
And explained because they refused to call it what it is or what it was. No, they refused to call it the Gulf of America. So he punished them, or the press office punished them, by disallowing them access to the last two events that happened
White
in
House
the Oval
events,
Office.
Which, one of the podcasters I was listening to earlier said, people might say, well, so what? What does it matter? But it's incredibly serious. This is the Associated Press. This is the press that sends out the stories ever. And they are saying, do what we say, or you will be cut out, because it will start with just events in the White House, in the, I don't know, it was some sort of party. No, I think it was, I don't think it was Oval Office, something like that. Yeah. But that's how it starts. And it's actually, that is actually very dangerous. That's pure dictatorship. chat.
The whole Gulf of Mexico versus Gulf of America, I bet you any money the name Gulf of Mexico was decided upon by colonialists taking over Mexico.
Exactly.
So it's all notional. I think that's a drone.
It's the same. It's the same when Palestinians weren't allowed to use their flag.
Yes.
So then they used the watermelon to signify the flag that had been given to them by the colonialists anyway. Then they used the watermelon, and then Israel started saying, "Stop using the watermelon. Stop intimidating us with the watermelon." And anyway, the watermelon was ours in the first place.
Yes, it's true. It's very true. Okay. Well, yeah. So
Harry and Meghan, before we finish up.
I just want to see that one more time. I just can't believe it.
Who thinks his son might be under there? Or maybe his hamsters or something.
Yeah, something. Anyway, Donald Trump has laid into Meghan in inimitable fashion. Should we have a listen to the compilation of what he's got to say about Harry and Meghan?
And I would say this, and she probably has heard that, but I wish a lot of luck to Harry, because he's going to need it. I think poor Harry is being led around by his nose. He has been so disrespectful to the country, and I think he's an embarrassment. And I thought she was treated very disrespectfully by them. Very, very. She, I would say, although she wouldn't show it because she was strong and smart, but I would imagine they broke her heart. The things that they were saying were so bad and so horrible. And she was in her 90s and hearing this stuff. I think they broke her heart.
No, it was horrible.
I think they really hurt her very much.
If he's lied on his visa form, doesn't the truth need to come out?
We'll have to.
Should he get special privileges that nobody else does?
No, and we'll have to see if they know something about the drugs, and if he lied, he'll have to take appropriate action. The only thing I disagree with the Queen on, probably one of the only things ever, is that I think she should have said, if that's your choice, fine, but you no longer have titles, you no longer, and frankly, don't come around. Harry is whipped. Do you know the expression whipped?
I'm familiar with the phrase.
I won't use the full expression. But Harry is whipped like no person I think I've ever seen. I'm not a fan of...
Sweaty little fucker.
Sweaty Piers Morgan.
Two gammons just flapping against each other's face. It's like two bits of steak going slap, slap, slap.
Just like picking on this woman. Just leave her alone.
It's such hot. Anyway, so this week he really, because there was the suggestion that he might be able to rescind Harry's visa because he took magic mushrooms or LSD or something like that. But it's just an opportunity for, I think, a genuinely racist kick of Meghan. Myself,
I'm misogynistic, but apparently, so the press would have you believe here that King Charles brought him round. King Charles had a word, and he said, "Okay, we'll let him stay because he's less trouble if we keep him here than if we send him there." I mean, with all that is going on in the world, really, this detail. So Scaramucci, who did work very closely with Trump and gives great insight. I have to say, I love him. I find him hilarious. But he said he was chatting about what Keir Starmer has to do and what we have to do here as Brits to keep Trump happy, and that is to just be very quiet, just keep our chins down and maybe look up from underneath our lashes and then look away. Don't look directly at the Lord, little Lord Trumpton, and that it's very important that Keir convinces the King to invite Trump. He wants the full pageantry. He wants the whole works because his mother's Scottish.
Which in itself is a bit
strange. Which in itself, I think he's got everything mixed up a bit there.
Don't mention devolution.
Yeah. And so because he loves the Queen because his mum's Scottish. So then he must be invited and he must be in the best room in the palace.
Right.
And actually Scaramucci likened Trump Tower to the palace. Louis XIV, apparently, is his style guru. Then the King must serve the finest wines from his cellar.
Even though he doesn't drink.
Trump doesn't drink, which I find unbelievable.
He really doesn't drink. No, he really doesn't.
He looks like he's got gout and everything. But anyway.
It's probably from the
and
McDonald's.
so Patty Kay says to him, wine, but Trump doesn't drink. He said, no, but he wants to go back and he wants to say, the King gave me his finest wine from his cellar. And I was like, oh my God, the world is lost.
Can I just ask her,
If this is,
no, I get it. I get it. I mean, he's a little bit like, I don't even remember, there was that criminal who used to be related to the Crays. We both knew him. We both worked with him. And he died a couple of years ago. I forget his name, David, whatever his name was. Anyway, his house was built like King Arthur's Camelot.
Oh.
And he had a sword wedged into concrete in the front garden. I do feel he's trying to push for a round table-esque. This is like feudal. This is like feudal kings and queens smashing the table. It's very sort of archaic.
We need to give him golden goblets and filled with the finest wines available to mankind that he can then just throw at the serfs.
Like Lee Dorrance says, thank God he doesn't drink. I mean, can you
imagine?
Could you imagine?
Oh my God, don't even talk about it.
Okay, so if this is where we're at after 23 days.
Do you know that there's only 2 presidents that have ever drunk? Do you know who that is?
George W. Bush?
No, he didn't drink, not as a president, because he'd had his background, hadn't
Ronald
he?
Reagan?
No.
Who did drink?
Did drink. Shall I tell you?
Yes.
Bill Clinton.
He did.
The occasional. And Obama. Obama would get on a flight, if he had a long flight in R2-D2.
And
What's the name of their plane? The
Air Force One.
Yeah. And he would have a dry martini. And he would drink that. He would only ever have 1 dry martini. And he would make it last all the way for the entire flight.
That's really fucking annoying. What an annoying man.
Yeah.
Can I just say, are you trying to tell me Richard Nixon never had a drink?
They weren't drinking when they were presidents.
Nah,
apparently.
I've seen them all toasting at every event. JFK whilst he was with old Marilyn. Are you having a laugh?
Well, it's not me. It's Catty K.
Catty K's talking rubbish. Anyway, I just want to ask, if we're at this point after 23 days, where on earth are we going to be after 46?
This is what I would say. Just live each day, one day at a time. Sweet Jesus.
Well, we are, but they're moving so fast. I mean, just in the time.
At a time.
Listen, though, I am going to say this
Jesus.
for Trump fans. It will be not Gaza. He likes to think he's got a peace deal there, but could he broker peace in Ukraine? Could he? I mean, it's going to be a sort of Pyrrhic victory of sorts. I mean, Ukraine are going to have to sacrifice land.
I hold Boris very responsible for a lot of what's going on there.
Zelensky says he
because
didn't do
Zelensky wanted to give Russia a little bit of land and just back them off. And Boris said no.
But
Boris said,
Zelensky's now, I mean, I don't necessarily believe Zelensky when he says this, but he now says that's an urban myth.
Oh, really?
Well, he says it's not true. I don't believe him, though, because he has to justify having lost so many troops. Anyway, there you go, guys. 2 Brits aghast and confused.
Aghast. And thank you for joining us. Please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when we're live. Check out our channel. We do a daily news show here called Coffee Moaning. That's it. And we have a fantastic playlist of and community. Sorry, guys. A fantastic playlist of movies. Mark is an absolute movie aficionado and does incredible reviews. Always truthful. We don't do all that bollocks. Oh, it's just wonderful when everyone knows it's a piece of shit. We do great food content. We do gardening. We are
a channel.
We are a channel. We are Sky.
So subscribe. That's the message. Subscribe. And we have a members area where you can get extra content, of which there is some extra content landing straight after this for any of you who are a family, friend or above, from Nadia and Dina, landing in a moment. Okay, on that note, I'm going to go and drink this entire bottle of alcohol, pure alcohol.
20 years sober. 20 years sober.
So just to clarify, someone just said Nixon once got drunk and started talking about nuking Vietnam.
Did he?
There you go.
Thank you. I said always pull us up if we get anything wrong.
Yeah, that's Catty K's fault. That. Have a lovely evening, guys.